Hi everyone. How are you? I want to make sure the sound is good. I can't hear anything, so I hope it's good. I am testing this live feature here on YouTube. I have something to share with you that is quite timely, and I don't want to wait until I make a video and then edit it and then post it, so I'm going to make a quick live just to have it out there. And then I'm going to listen to it and see if it's worth doing this again without announcing it, so no one knows it's happening. So I want to share with you something that happened to me over the last couple days, which I think is really important, because during these times we are faced with a lot of challenges in the form of stress, and that amplifies anything that we are experiencing. So whatever you are going through, plus the stress that we're all under during these times, and there you have it. It's going to be more rapidly spread through your whole system, like a symptom, like almost like an inner attack, right? It's like being under pressure. So a couple days ago, I was having a kind of intense conversation over the phone. Nothing bad, but something that I had to really put my whole self into, to follow and to take action on. So I was not aware of what I was doing with my body, which is rare because of what I teach and my training and 20 plus years of awareness and somatic work. I'm usually quite aware of my posture and what I'm doing, and in that case I was not. The conversation lasted about an hour, and quite after I hang up, I began to feel this intense pain on my left side, on my lower back, sacrum area, and my leg. I'm not going to say I never felt this pain before, but the intensity of it was new. So much so that it was really hard to walk without feeling it. But I said, well, maybe I was sitting for a long time, and I let that go. I ran some errands, came back home, had dinner, went to sleep. And it was hard for me to find comfort, though I was able to sleep. And then towards 4 a.m., more or less, this severe, intense pain woke me up. But like really challenging pain. Pain that wouldn't allow me to go back to sleep. And over the next 2 hours through that night, I went through what I can only describe as a self-healing process that I will share more about in the upcoming videos. But I would say it had the main components of a miniature dark night of the soul in that moment. I went through extreme fear. I went darker and deeper into some trauma that was in my body that I could identify, that I began to see flashbacks and memories. And then I began to find how to help myself out of there. I used some Feldenkrais work. I used all I know about breath work, energy healing, visualization. And things started getting a little better. And I think the light came for me at the end of the tunnel, seriously, in a moment where I could find and feel extreme gratitude for my body, for teaching me, for showing me that lesson. And in that moment, the pain subsided a great amount. Not completely, but a great amount. And I tell you, this gratitude, this thankfulness that I felt for my whole body was covering me like a blanket. I could feel it. My whole body started vibrating, and I could feel the energy changing, much like after some time in meditation for me. And I've been practicing meditation since I'm 18 years old. So what came after that, to make you the long story short, was a long process of reconnecting with the safety of moving in a body that prior to that it was painful to walk. I woke up to go to the bathroom. I couldn't walk without pain. It was severe. So I reconnected with it is safe to move. I did some things that I will share in future videos, like practical things, that you can do yourself. And then the most intense thing happened. I thought I was through it, but actually I wasn't. I was lying on my side, and I was putting my hand on my hip area and my back, the place where it was hurting the most. And I started doing something from Koe, which is a master of autosuggestion, which he says it calms the nervous system because it tells you that it's gonna pass. So I began to do this shh, 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 with the intent of telling myself this is over, it's gonna pass, it's okay, much like you would do for a child if the child is afraid or something's happening to a child, to calm them down. And then instinctively I began to shake a little bit, to move my hip, to give me that sense of soothing that you would do with a baby if you want to say put a baby to sleep. And right away, I'm telling you, seconds after I started doing that, a bout of crying took place. Something that came out of nowhere. It was unexpected. It was the actual emotional quotient, the emotional charge that was in that hip, in that lower back, in the sacrum. It was trapped like you would push something, and then poof, it got released. And I cried and I cried and I cried until I couldn't cry anymore. I didn't want to hold back. And then I tell you, magic, pure magic happened after that. It was as if a lot of pent up emotion, tension, pain was finally able to rest, to surrender, to release, to relax. So now I'm processing what happened and I'm putting it together. I think it's a really beautiful, maybe 3-4 steps self-healing process that I want to share with you, because I know that in the times that we live and now and the times that are coming, it's really important for you to develop these kind of tools, to know how to self-heal, to know how to go within for support. Of course, we have our tribe, we have our group of people that we rely on, we can go for support. And it's so good to know that we got this. And actually at the very end of that took about 2 hours to recede, I found myself actually asking myself for forgiveness for all the times that I didn't trust, for all the times that I didn't know that I could do this, that I didn't trust my body, that I didn't surrender to its wisdom. And just like that, I began this circle without intending it like that, but noticing what was coming out of my mouth was, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry. And I realized that's the Ho'oponopono prayer. And I was doing it because that's what I was feeling, not because I remember the prayer. I was feeling so much gratitude for my body, for teaching me this lesson. I was also feeling, I'm sorry, forgive me, towards my body, because so many other times I didn't know that you've got me. And so much love. Love that I've felt before, maybe for my children or for pets, that unconditional kind of love that there's nothing they can do that will make you take your love away from them. That kind of love I felt for myself. And the reason I share this with you is, of course, not to brag, because it was really painful. It was really scary. It lasted about 2 hours in the middle of the night. By the time I could finally feel that I could go back to sleep, I could hear the birds, the sun was coming up. I'm sharing this with you so you know that this is possible. So maybe you remember that you have the same ability, that we all have it. And we've been hearing for so long that we are supernatural, that we create our experience. And sometimes we don't know how, especially when we are in the middle of it, in the thick of it, when it's the most painful, the hardest times. Well, I tell you something. There's a way, and the way is easy. What it takes is believing, surrendering, allowing yourself to relax into that feeling that the fear is not there forever. The fear will pass. the worry will pass. If you notice that something's going on, your body's not responding, you feel like, just trust, it will pass. You got resources, you know how to do this. And if you don't know, ask yourself for guidance. And the intelligence of your body will let you know. And then follow it. So over the next few days and weeks, I will unpack more of this and maybe share piece by piece the process of how I did it. And I would love you to come back, to check this out, to look at my resources out there so you know how to find me and how to find my work. And in the meantime, thank you for listening. For whoever finds this video in the future, thank you so much. And I love you. I hope this helps.